Hello, Hedston Manor Crafters. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, where did she get that fabulous VE Day hat? Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to make one. So let's start. Go. So these are all the things you're going to need to make your hat. So first off, you're going to need a long strip of sort of thickish paper or card. You could use cereal box or you could use two pieces of paper stuck together. You can use whatever colour you like. I've used red, white and blue because I'm feeling very patriotic, but it would work with any colours. I've got my white, red and blue paper. I've got some sellotape, a staple gun, a hole punch, a ruler, a pencil, some Pritt stick and scissors and a long piece of cord. Probably doesn't need to be more than about a metre long, or you can use string. And I've got some doweling rods as well, some skewers that I've just chopped down. So these are about, let's have a look. These are about 20 centimetres long and I've taken the point off the end. So first off, you're going to measure your piece of paper or card around your head and then you're going to staple it to the right size so you've got a nice band. And that's the really simple basis for your hat. Okay, and the next bit we're going to do is make the V to go on the front. Okay, so to make your V, you're going to need a red square and it's going to be 12 centimetres on the length. And you're going to fold it in half and then you're going to draw a line from one corner to the bottom. And then you're going to make a little triangle there. And then when you cut it out, you're going to end up with a V shape like this. And I've mounted mine on some cardboard. So again, you could use a bit of cereal packet to do this, just to make it a bit stiffer. So cut your V out, stick it onto some cereal packet with some glue stick and then cut around it. And then we're going to leave that and we'll put it on the hat later when we've put the bunting on. Now to make the bunting, I made a little tiny triangle as a stencil. And my triangle is about 5 centimetres along the top. And then to the point, it's also about 5 centimetres, but it doesn't need to be exact. I just found that to be a good size. And then you can draw around your triangle to make your white, red and blue bunting. And I think you need about 3 triangles of each colour. And then can you see I've actually made a hole using my hole punch in the corners of the triangle. So you're going to put your cord through these. So it's like making actual bunting, but with little tiny paper triangles. Okay, so now we are going to make the bunting, which is going to decorate our hat. So I'm going to thread the little triangles onto the cord. And a really good tip is to just cover the end of your cord or your string or your bit of wool with a piece of sellotape. So it becomes a bit like a bootlace and it's much easier to thread into your little holes. So then I am going to thread and I'm going to do blue, white, red and then repeat. So let me just find my triangles so you can see I'm going over and then under, so most of the cord is going to be on the back of the triangle. And then I'm going to come back up through. And then I'm going to go over. And then under. And then I'm going to go go over and under. And I think we're going to do one more lot, and then I think we'll be ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to attach our bunting, and we want it to hang like real bunting hangs. So I'm gonna work from the front, from the very front where your V is going to go, and I'm going to staple the string on. I think that's the easiest way to do it. We can always put another staple in later when we're happy with it. And then I'm going to do a sort of swag that's going to come up the side here. And I'm going to staple it again. And then I'm going to do the same thing, so it's going to come up. Groups of 3 look quite nice. So you can see, got another little swag coming up here. And then I'm going to have one at the back to join up. And then when you've finished, you can cut the cord off. And then you're ready to stick your V on the front. I'm just going to staple that again. You might have to put a couple of staples in just to hold it. Make sure it's nice and firm. And then you can play about with the triangles, and you can arrange them so that they look really, really good. Now, this year we're celebrating the 75th anniversary of the first VE Day. So that's very special. So we're going to put the 75 onto our V. So you can see here I've printed out, I've found the logo on the internet, and I've printed it out, and I'm going to cut the 75 out from here to make it really neat. But you could just as easily draw your own 75. You could practice doing some numbers, or you could even draw it on with some white paint, whatever you feel is easiest. Or you could maybe make it out of sequins. I don't know, if you wanted a really disco hat. So I'm just going to cut this out very quickly. Okay, so this is one that I've made earlier, and you can see I've cut the 75 out and I've just stuck it on with a bit of Pritt stick. So now I'm going to flip it over, and on the back here I've got a little foam sticky pad, but if you don't have one of those, a looped over bit of sellotape will work just as well. And this is just to stick it onto the front of your hat. So you can see where I've put my staples at the front here. And I'm going to stick my V shape on. Hopefully that's going to stay put. And then the finishing touches are going to be the flags that are going to come up from the crown. So to make those, you're going to need your little dowling rods, or skewers. You can use barbecue skewers, or you could use lollipop sticks, or you could use paper straws. And what I'm going to do is I've got 3 strips of paper, and they're probably about 3 centimetres wide, and they don't need to be very long, because we're just going to fold them over and make them into a little flag like that. So I'm going to get some glue, and I am going to glue this end here, and I'm going to fold the end over the stick so that it's like a little sandwich. Make it a bit longer. You can play about, you might want a really long flag, or you might want a little cute one. And then all you do is cut it into a little flag shape, just to make it more exciting. And so you're going to make 3 of those, and then we're going to stick them to the crown. Now we've got our 3 little flags and we're going to stick them onto our crown. So all I've got is a tiny piece of sellotape, and I'm just going to stick it on the inside so that it's hidden, and then do the next one. And then I'll do the next one. Okay, I'm just going to trim that bit off there. And then I think you're pretty much done, and you are going to look the bee's knees.